Hello everybody, welcome back to some more Football Manager 26 here with Dorking Wanderers. We start our third episode today. Thank you so much for all the support on episodes 1 and 2. It is very, very much appreciated. So we've got two games today, two quite big games as well. If we have a little look at the calendar, we can also see exactly how we've been getting on throughout this time. We've been doing all right, but today we're playing Dagenham and Redbridge at home, who were the pre-season title favourites along with ourselves. So hopefully we can get ourselves a win there. And then we've got St Albans City in the FA Cup. Of course, we want to do really well in the FA Cup this season. It can be a really good money spinner for the club, and the aim is going to be to reach the first round. This is going to be the third qualifying round, I believe. But let's have a look at how we've been getting on since we last saw you. So last episode, we opened up with a 2-1 win against Chippenham and a 1-0 victory against Hampton and Richmond. Since then, we've been on a decent run, a little bit of a disappointing 0-0 draw against Slough at home, but we did manage to come back with 2 wins, 3-1 against Hemel Hempstead. James McShane, Louis Story and Jason Pryor with the goals there. And then we had another convincing victory against Tunbridge at home. Alfie Rutherford, Jason Pryor on the score sheet again, along with Charlie Carter for us. This wasn't a bad result, you know, away at Bath City. It was one of those where we had the highlights. I've gone back to key highlights, by the way. Dynamic is just absolutely killing me. It takes so long, which is fine if you like, you know, watching long games, but I'm not a huge fan. Anyway, 0-0 away against Bath City. Nothing happened in the game whatsoever. As you can see, all the defenders got decent ratings along with the goalkeeper. Absolutely drab 0-0 draw before a very disappointing 1-0 away loss against Hornchurch. The less said about it, the better. We had an absolute shocker. I thought we might escape with a draw, but Darren McQueen got the winner for Hornchurch. But since then, 2 wins in a row, 2-1 against Totton at home. And then the thing is, though, and this is where my issue is at the moment, in the first half, we are usually really, really good. And in the second half, we're terrible. So we need to try and sort that out somewhere along the line. But on the other hand, we did the reverse. FA Cup second qualifying round against Wingate and Finchley, a team that are lower down in the football pyramid than what we are. And we literally just scraped through. They scored after 30 seconds in the first half, straight from kickoff. But then we did get an equaliser through Jimmy Mewett, who we brought on as a substitute. And then Jason Pryor absolutely saved us with a 92nd minute winner. So we're doing okay. We're doing all right, but we're far from convincing at this moment in time. Here's the National League South table. We sit in 5th place at the moment. 8 games, 5 wins, 2 draws and 1 defeat. We've got a goal difference of +6, 17 points on the board, and Ebbsfleet leading the way at the moment. They're only 2 points above us. There's not been enough games played yet. Everything is very tight at the top. But yeah, the game that we've got today against Dagenham and Redbridge, they are down in 18th at the moment. They've had a shocking start to the season. When we look at the season preview, these were relegated from the National League and they are predicted to finish 2nd this season. We're predicted to finish 1st, which is really, really good. So hopefully we can get ourselves 3 points in this game. We have made ourselves a new sign-in as well. Let's have a little look at the transfer history. We seem to be a little bit short on the wings, so we have just signed Isaac Jeffries on loan from Cardiff, our second winger that we've got on loan from Cardiff so far. Jack Kingdon's a centre-back, Rich. Sort it out. Isaac Jeffries, he comes in. He's got some decent attributes. He's primarily going to play on that right-hand side. 12 crossing, 13 dribbling, 11 decisions, 11 composure. He's got a little bit in terms of the physicals as well, but he's only 5'7". I'm hoping that he's just going to give us something a little bit different as we go forwards. We have tried to sign a striker on loan as well. Both are the ones that I went for. One thing that hasn't changed, of course, in FM is that, you know, players will sit there at their clubs available for loan. As soon as I try and sign one of them, 3 other clubs from higher divisions come in for them and they go there instead. So nothing's changed in that aspect from FN24, but hopefully he will bolster the side up a little bit. Right, first game of the day then, Dagenham and Redbridge at home. We are still playing the 4-2-4. We haven't changed anything with the tactic because we're winning games. So I'm a little bit anxious to change anything just yet. We are primarily winning games, but this is going to be the starting lineup. So we've got Folkes in goal, Charlie Sears. We've got Tony Craig starting for us at centre-back. He's not too happy at the moment with his game time, so he's got good attributes. Despite the fact that he's 40 years old and physically he can't run, we decided to give him a bit of game time. He played in the FA Cup game against Wingate and Finchley, got a 7.4, which is decent despite the fact he's not played all season. 40 years old, mentals are still really, really good, so concentration's great, bravery, aggression. He's going to get the nod at centre-back today, alongside Louis Story, who's had a great season. Brennan Camp will start at right-back. Charlie Carter, the captain, in his usual midfield position. And I have put Louis Annesley, who is usually our starting centre-back. He's going to just drop into that CDM role today for us and see how he gets on. Denon Lewis on the left, Rio Morgan on the right. Rutherford and Pryor up top. Rutherford on 4 goals so far this season. Jason Pryor is catching him up a little bit, and he's coming through with some really good ratings. We've got the new man, Isaac Jeffries, on the bench, so we will see how he gets on today. Let's get into this first game. Dagenham and Redbridge at home. Come on, boys. We can get ourselves a win here. Let's give Isaac Jeffries the number 22, confirm his squad number. And let's get into this game. Come on, boys. We are on key highlights. I am absolutely not doing the dynamic stuff anymore. It takes so long. Right, home advantage is going to be key here. We need to make sure that we are performing well at home. Dagenham, of course, have got Andy Carroll up front. He's had a terrible start to the season, though. He's only scored 1 goal in about 9 appearances as it stands for Dagenham. So we absolutely 1,000,000% know that he's going to get at least 2 goals against us today. But let's see how it goes. No early goals conceded, please. They're playing a 3-4-1-2 by the look of it. And we're having the better of it in the opening 8 minutes or so. So fingers crossed, we can keep going. We can get our form back. What I want more than anything is a convincing victory against somebody. Every team, it's like we're so much better than them, but we managed to make it really difficult. There's a good stop by Pryor. Can we get Dagenham on the break now? They gave it away from the free kick. Brennan Camp into Rio Morgan. Nice ball over the top. Pryor with a shot. Pryor with a goal. Jason Pryor is on fire at this moment in time. I think that's his 4th goal of the season. Assist from Rio Morgan, the man on loan. Lovely little chip over the top. Great run by Pryor as well in that deep lying forward role. 1 bounce, hits it first time into the top corner. 1-0 Dorking, you love to see it. What a great start to this game. Right, let's keep it going now. In terms of the league table, as it stands with other results, that does put us at top of the league. I'm not sure whether Ebbsfleet are losing or something like that, but it's important we keep going. 10 shots, 5 on target as it stands. Dagenham and Redbridge, absolutely nothing. We need 2 or 3 goals in this first half, and then we can maybe calm down a bit. Ball into the box. Rutherford can't get there. Carter into Denon Lewis, just wide. He's having a great season as well on that left-hand side. Do you know what? I'm still missing the shouts as well. I just feel I'm sat here. I like twiddling my thumbs. I feel as though I need to shout something. Look at this in terms of domination, though. 14 shots for us. Only 1 for Dagenham and Redbridge. We're playing some great football. Here's Brennan Camp in towards Annesley. And then Story will take over. Tony Craig, the veteran, who's had a great start for us in these opening couple of games. Here's Denon Lewis. Can he find a ball into the box? Finds Pryor again, who then becomes our top goal scorer. 2 for him, 2 for Dorking. What a start to this game. Superb, lads. Absolutely superb. We've just got Alfie Rutherford back, by the way. He missed a couple of games due to injury. But yeah, we've got him back. We've missed him. We have been playing James McShane up front, but he's just not had that same impact. He's more of a midfielder. Here's Pryor now. Spreads the ball out wide. A third before half-time would be unbelievable. Rio Morgan's beating his man Allmen's up, and then Pryor gets himself a hat-trick. A first-half hat-trick, and we will go into the break 3 goals ahead, and whatever happens, Jason Pryor is getting the match ball today. This is a real statement. This is the best football that we have played all season long. Superb ball in from Morgan and an absolute tap-in for Jason Pryor. Congratulations to him. He bags himself a hat-trick. Look at that for first half domination. 18 shots, 7 on target, XG 1.79. We find ourselves 3 goals to the good. I'm going to say to the boys, you're doing brilliantly. Keep it going. What I don't want now is a lapse in concentration. Second half, we are notoriously bad second half once we're 1 or 2 goals up. If we can find a fourth, it is definitely game over. 100% game over. Lovely ball from Lewis. Carter can't quite get it back to him. And then Dagenham and Redbridge will look to come forward. Ball over the top towards Wilson. And he hits the post. There's a little warning for us. Good tackle by Denon Lewis. Still got danger to clear. And in the end, it goes out for a throw-in. But the warning signs are there. Dagenham are a good side. Right, Morgan's had a great game. 8.65. We are going to take him off, though. We're going to have a little look at Isaac Jeffries on that right-hand side. I also want to give Frankum a little bit of game time as well in the right-back position. And I'm going to take off Charlie Carter and bring on Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor's getting absolutely no game time whatsoever at the moment, and I just can't fit him into the side. He's more of an attacking midfielder. So if I put him in that role that Charlie Carter's been playing, make those 3 changes, hopefully we can just see this game out comfortably, but get some match practice into them. Looks like we're going to get another highlight though. Here's Frankum, ball over the top. Nothing's going to come of that. And Howes picks up comfortably. This is where we've got to be careful. Ball gets pumped downfield towards Wilson. Wins the header. Back to Carroll. And then Young will come forward and they put it wide. This is what I'm talking about. We're notoriously not great in the second half. Right, we've made all our subs now. James McShane's come on up front. Jack Kingdon comes on at the back. It's important that we try and get some minutes into some of these players as and where we can. But we have got a week's break between games, between this and the FA Cup game as well. But it looks as though this is going to be our most convincing performance of the season, despite the fact that we haven't scored any second half goals. Maybe a little bit of complacency creeping in. Maybe that's the issue in the side. The ball over the top for Carroll. Big header. Wilson puts it wide. They could have had 3 in the second half, and that's kind of what I'm not happy about. But you know what? We won't mull over it too much. We get ourselves a 3-0 win. Look at how they came back in the second half. They only had 1 shot on target, but 15 efforts at goal altogether, whereas in the first half, they had absolutely nothing. But we'll praise the boys anyway. Nice work, everybody. That was good. And we can move on to our FA Cup tie against St Albans away from home. Just quickly, in terms of the National League South table as well, that puts us up to second place. We're just a point behind Eastbourne Borough now, on the same points as Ebbsfleet and a couple of points ahead of Horsham. But yeah, we're starting to find a little bit of form now. We're really starting to click 9 games in. Right then, next game against St Albans City in the FA Cup. You know, these are the ties that we really, really want to be winning. In the second qualifying round, where we won that game against Wingate and Finchley, the winner prize money is 3.4k. So not anything monumental in that regard, but it does go up as you go through the rounds. So this round here that we're going to be playing, if we win this game, 5.75k. If we make it into the fourth qualifying round, you're looking at 9.5. And if you make it through the first round, you're looking at 41,000. These can be big, big money spinners for non-league clubs. They really, really can. Let's have a look at the team selection then. We are going to make 1 or 2 changes and we'll monitor it as to how it goes. I didn't want to change the team too drastically. We've got some really good news in terms of 2 of our long-term injuries who've not featured for us yet this season are coming back and they are almost fit to probably make the bench. So Niall McManus, who is a defensive midfielder, he's available. I don't want to rush these players back, but the big one for us is Dan Pybus. I mean, look at the mental attributes on Dan Pybus. He's going to be a huge player for us. Again, defensive central midfielder. We're going to be absolutely stacked in that area for the rest of the season, as long as we can keep these players fit. But look at those mentals. 20 determination, 16 teamwork, 19 work rate. Once we get him back up to full fitness, he's 100% going to be a starter for us. So Harrison Folkes in goal. Sears and Craig and Camp keep their places in the side. I am dropping Louis Story to the bench. He's played every game for us, so I'm just going to stick Louis Annesley in there. Josh Taylor gets the start alongside Dan Gallagher, so Charlie Carter will drop to the bench for this game. Denan Lewis on the left, Morgan on the right, Rutherford and Pryor up top. We don't want to take any chances whatsoever in this game, and because we need to get through. We need the money, and it's one of our targets for the series. Right, FA Cup. I absolutely love the FA Cup, but this is not going to be an easy game. You know, St Albans City, I think they were quite recently in the National League South or North. I'm almost certain of it. 100%. So they must have got relegated. This is absolutely not going to be an easy game, and we need to make sure that we're at the top of our game today. Tricky away fixture. All right, early highlight. An early goal would be even better. Here's Lewis in towards Rutherford. Great form these players have been in so far this season. Pryor, hat-trick in his last game, of course. Wide to Morgan. Then Brennan Camp. Gallagher picks it up. Lovely football between them. Here's Josh Taylor. Hits the crossbar. Danger cleared away by St Albans. Really good start for us. I feel like in a lot of respects, this is going to be a little bit harder than the Dagenham game that we had at home. They're playing a diamond as well, which means that, fingers crossed, we can exploit some wide areas, but we're going to have to be careful of what they do going down the middle. If we can send them long, that could be a target for us, and hopefully we can eat that up at centre-back. But St Albans keeping the ball pretty nicely at the moment. Ball over the top, and they go 1-0 ahead. Exactly what we didn't want. We've gone to sleep at the back, and Zane Banton gives them the lead. I talked about sending them long. Tony Craig's gone absolutely to sleep there at left back. He should be better than that. More experience that he's got. He should not be going to sleep. And this could be massive for St Albans. We've got ourselves a free kick though. Josh Taylor, ball into the box, cleared away. And are St Albans going to hit us on the break? It's not looking so. Louis Annesley picks it up at centre-back. Into Tony Craig, who's asked for that more game time. He's got it the last 4 games, and he's largely performed well. Here's Rutherford, gets into the penalty area, danger cleared away. Good chance. We're starting to warm into the game now. Right, half-time changes are going to be incoming. We have started to dominate a little bit, but I'm still going to let them have it at half-time. Not happy with the defence, not happy with the midfield, not happy with the finishing. We're gonna change this early. We can't afford to mess about in these games. Right, Tony Craig is coming out. Louis Story is coming in. Let's take off. See, Gallagher's not doing great. Josh Taylor's not been superb. We've got to get the captain on. Charlie Carter's coming on. Morgan's not having a great game whatsoever. Maybe we take him off, and do we give the nod to? Do we give the nod to McShane? Or do we go for our other player that we can play on the right-hand side, Isaac Jeffries? I think we do. Let's make it happen. We're going to go a bit more attacking as well. We're a goal down. We've got to try and get back into it. Second half. We've got to be attacking here. We've got to try and do something different. 35 minutes left. Here's Jeffries. It might take him a little bit of time to settle into the team. Here's Rutherford, though. Finds Denan Lewis. Danger cleared once again. Is it going to be a backs-to-the-wall job for St Albans? Lovely ball through to Lewis. Into the box. Pryor manages to get the goal. Is he onside? I pray that he is. It looks as though he is. And it's 1 apiece. Absolutely superb goal. What a pass through this is, by the way, from Sears. Straight through the gap, in towards Lewis, and all Pryor has to do is nod it in. He tried his best to miss by hitting the crossbar, but we'll absolutely take it. 1 apiece at St Albans. Let's keep this going now. Let's go and get the win. Come on, lads. We can't take our foot off the pedal now. Let's go and get ourselves a winner. Ball into the box, cleared by Carter. Lewis will pick this up, and we can hit them on the break. We have got players absolutely steaming forward as it stands. Here's Rutherford. Carter made a bit of a difference since he's been on. Rutherford, great save. We're definitely starting to look so much better. I just don't want them to gas themselves out. Here's Lewis. Rutherford picks it up again. Lewis and Rutherford are absolute problems for this team. Here's Rutherford again. Ball into the box. Pryor's there. 2-1. We have turned it around. It's taken 20 minutes of the second half, but we have managed to take the lead. This is huge for us. We really, really need to win this game in the FA Cup to give us a chance. We'd like a home draw if we can get... We can't talk about that. We can't talk about that just yet. Rutherford, the supplier. Jason Pryor manages to find the net once again. 5 goals for him in 2 games as it stands, and we've still got 25 minutes left. Come on, boys. Can you only make 3 substitutions in the FA Cup? So we made 3 changes at half-time. We took off Morgan, Craig and Taylor, and I'm just trying to make another change. I'm trying to take off Brennan Camp and bring on Frankham, but it says that all available substitutes have already been brought on. That's mad. How did I not know that? Right, well, we're not going to change anything. We just need to hope and pray that we don't concede an equaliser here and that all the boys manage to stay fit. Here's Brennan Camp, who's not had a great game. Jeffries, who's been good since he's been on. And now Charlie Carter. If we can find a third, it's game over. Rutherford's in, 1-on-1, hits the post. So unlucky, 12 minutes to go. But it justifies the changes that we had to make at half-time. This is a really, really tricky game. Louis Annesley's been an absolute colossus at the back as well. Can Rutherford win this header? He can't, but Jeffries will pick it up. Great ball into the box. Should score, does score. Alfie Rutherford makes it 3-1. It's game over, and we are going into the 4th qualifying round of the FA Cup. After a major scare in the first half, Jeffries been fantastic on this right-hand side. Pryor tries to get his second hat-trick in a row. Keeper saves it, but Alfie Rutherford, our man, is there to follow it up. Looks as though we're going for a 4th. Maybe attacking is the mentality for us. I always get a bit anxious about coming off balance because I feel like it leaves too many holes. But if we go attacking, we just look superb. There's a 4th, and it is 100% game over now. Dan Gallagher, who's not had a fantastic game, gets his first goal of the season, and this has been some second half. Absolutely some second half from the boys. The class has just shone through. I don't know, maybe we'll try and experiment over the course of the next few games off camera. Maybe we'll have a couple of games where we play attacking and we just see what the results are. But look at that. We were first half at 1-0 down. We were not, I wouldn't say down and out. It was a very even game, but look at those match stats in the second half. 3.99 XG. We've created a ridiculous amount of chances. And I'm going to tell the boys that I'm 100% proud of them. Really, really proud of them. So when's the draw for the next round? That's the big question. But of course, they don't have cup draws anymore in the game, which is really annoying. So we've now made it to the 4th qualifying round. The draw date is on Monday the 29th. That's 2 days away. Right, we'll stay on. Let's see who we're going to get in the next round. Can we just look at Jason Pryor's form as well? We're praising it as it stands. He's scored 6 goals in the last 5 games. And he's got 1 assist. 8.42 average rating. He's the absolute man at the moment. So there's the confirmation that our game against Maidenhead has been rearranged. And we are going to be playing in the 4th qualifying round. We will take on Eastbourne Borough. Wow. Okay. So Eastbourne Borough are in our division. The reason that I'm laughing is because they sit top of the National League South as it stands. We sit in 2nd. So a huge tie in the 4th qualifying round. Are we at home? I didn't even look, I just saw that we're away. That's going to be a big game. That is going to be a huge game. And I think that we'll come back for that, in the next episode. We'll play the Chelmsford game off camera. And yeah, we're going to get stuck into the Eastbourne game in the FA Cup 4th qualifying round. But guys, we will leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching. 4 wins on the bounce for Dorking Wanderers, and we're starting to look a little bit more convincing. There's your league table sitting there in second, just a point behind our next opponents, Eastbourne Borough, but in the FA Cup. Can't wait to play that one. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, drop a like if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you in the next one very soon.